know, what a person does for a living sure makes a difference in how he views things. Yep, I'm a telephone man. And I suppose we look at many things in a special way. Take that house there. And that wire, designed to last a lifetime. And that dial tone. She expects it to be there 24 hours a day. Is our new customer impressed, knowing that she can now reach any one of 150 million phones in the country in a matter of seconds? Of course not. But I'll tell you something. It's been 15 years since I installed my first phone, and I'm still impressed. Think about it. By merely lifting the receiver, you hook into a system so sophisticated that it can carry billions of calls, television programs, and data messages simultaneously around the world. Why, just a phone across town, your call might pass through hundreds of switch points. My problem, though, is trying to make it all understandable, to show how all the pieces and people and companies that make up the world's largest telephone organization, the Bell System, fit together. First off, almost 1 million people work for Bell at some 27,000 different locations across the country. 3 out of 4 phones in the country are Bell. Bell assets are worth 12 times Fort Knox. I mean, we're big. Yet, you gotta be big to meet a big nation's needs, today as well as tomorrow. Now, when you speak of the Bell System, you're talking about a lot of companies. But it's easier if you think of us as 5 major parts. There's Bell Laboratories. There's Western Electric. There's Long Lines. There's the local telephone company like mine, 23 altogether. And finally, AT&T, the parent company. 5 parts, but known collectively as the Bell System. Now, some people call us simply Bell, or the telephone company, or even Ma Bell. The name's not all that vital. You could call us Tinker Bell, so long as we do our job. What is important, though, is how all these parts work together. How they've got to work together to keep phone service in America the best in the world. Let's look a little closer at the parts. First off, Bell Laboratories. Its job is to design and develop the products, systems, and services to keep communications purring and to respond to the customers we serve nationwide. Down through the years, Bell Labs people have received more than 17,000 patents. That's like 1 patent a day for 50 years. Now, some of these inventions didn't exactly change the world, but some did. Like the transistor. Yep, 3 Bell scientists got the Nobel Prize for it. It changed the way just about everything is made. Not just phones, but computers and radios and hearing aids and so on. It started the whole electronics revolution and even made the space age possible. So, briefly, Bell Labs is the first part, working for and with the rest of the Bell System. Now, the second part, to tell the truth, I feel really at home with. Because I guess I've worked with Western Electric products all my life. Cables, wires, switches, tools, phones, thousands of things. And what a manufacturing job they do. like those phones. They're built to take a terrible beating, and yet keep working. That's Western Electric in a nutshell, and that's the kind of support that makes Bell work. And no matter how modern the equipment, Western always fits it in with what's already been installed. Compatibility is the word, and it's too bad they don't give the Nobel Prize for it, because that's another reason the system works like it does. That's why new technology such as LightWave doesn't scare us. It's practically here, and boy, is it something. With LightWave, we don't use wire. We use glass fiber. Your voice would travel by light instead of electricity. Yet, when it's introduced, it'll blend right in with other transmission systems. What makes it so great is that with light, 240,000 calls can be carried over a single glass fiber cable, which is another way of helping keep the total cost of telephone service down. Back in 1915, the first transcontinental phone calls cost about $20 each. Now, if you do your own direct dialing, you can call across the country for less than a quarter. Which brings me to the third part of the Bell system, long lines. It manages the nationwide network and, along with the local telephone companies, handles all long-distance calls between states. Long lines also handles all overseas calls. And most of the network television transmission in the nation, as well as data communications, where computers talk to other computers long distance. And it does it in all kinds of ways. Cable, microwave, satellite even. Its job is intricate. Take routing. If a direct route for a call is busy, say between New York and Seattle, long lines can automatically reroute the call.
Yeah, White Plains, would you please take Sacramento via Rockdale, 100%?
They might send it by way of California or by way of Georgia or any number of other ways. In any case, it's long lines that hooks all the local telephone companies into the national network.
May I help you?
And now we're at the fourth part of the Bell system. The part I certainly know best, and most customers too. The local operating company.
Well, what I was going to suggest, sir, if you do have a teenager...
As I said, there are 23 Bell telephone companies around the country. People know us because we work for them daily. They see us laying cable, installing phones. They talk to us when they want new service.
All right, if you'll hold on just a moment, I'll get your records.
Or even if they're unhappy about service.
One of these calls, the one for $4.65, there was either a problem, and we'll give you credit for it, all right?
To most customers, we are the Bell system. But as I say, we're only one part. Sure, when service is wanted, we have to be there. And when something needs to be built, we've got to build it. But we're not the whole picture. That brings me to the fifth part of the Bell system, sometimes the hardest to understand. The parent company, AT&T. In any business, someone has to be in charge of the whole works.
Since we've issued conservation instructions to all the operating companies, you can see that the consumption of energy is down.
We are going to have to look to the future and incorporate energy conservation, and particularly the capital expenditures involved with that, into our construction budgeting process.
Someone has to be responsible nationwide. That's AT&T.
AT&T Treasury, good morning. Sir, I have been able to locate the account. I see that you are the custodian for your son, and,
Actually, AT&T is owned by the public. 3 million people like you and me who buy shares in the company and entrust its operation to management people. AT&T gets input from all the other parts and organizes the input into a broad national plan. In my book, that's the name of the game for AT&T, coordination, leading us in a common, clear-cut direction. The parts work in harmony, without fanfare, seldom noticed until the unexpected, like a hurricane or fire that calls for immediate national response. The restoration of service in hours instead of months. It's possible only because the parts work in common purpose as one integrated national structure. We've got a lot of freedom and responsibility in the operating companies. Freedom to make our own decisions and responsibility to respond to the people we serve in our areas. Bell Labs also has the freedom and the responsibility to keep pushing us into new and better technology. Western Electric has the responsibility to provide the best equipment and the freedom to figure out how to do it at the best price. And Long Lines has proven its ability to keep the network humming and keep the cost of long-distance service low. It's a good partnership, the Bell system. Yep, we're a monopoly for sure, but we're a regulated monopoly, which means that the government grants us permission to be a monopoly while approving the prices we charge and the services we offer to customers. Regulated monopoly works well in communications because you don't duplicate facilities and you produce real economies over the long haul. Like I said, the way you make your living can often affect the way you see things, even what you see. But I do hope that once in a while, when you pick up your phone, maybe you'll think about what's at your fingertips. Almost 1 million people, and a system and network unmatched for quality anywhere in the world. On the other hand, if you never think about it at all, we'll still be there whenever we're needed, doing what has to be done.